Action. Hello guys and welcome to the podcast. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about who I am, my background, my beliefs. Hope you enjoy the show. And hopefully this is the first of many. Come on, let's go. We got this. Come on, take 327. Hello guys and welcome back to the Dan Bennett podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again. Happy Monday morning, we're back. Time to keep the train going and putting out some more stuff out there, which I think is going to help people. So to be honest with you, I'm really happy that I've even started this thing, to be honest. It's been a bit of a passion project that I've wanted to do probably for the last 5 or 6 years now. And to be honest with you, I've never had the confidence to do it. And actually that's going to largely kind of stem on to what we're going to be talking about today. With some of the discussions I'm going to be having today. So thank you for joining me once again. I'm happy to be back, and yeah, let's jump into the episode, guys. So today I want to talk about something called outside validation, and essentially worrying about the judgment of others to largely affect your life. And I think this is something that's going to affect 99% of people that I think you talk to will say that they worry about what other people are going to think, what other people are going to think about them, about the work they're putting out, about what they're doing, their job, their body, whatever it is. I think everyone can put their hand up and admit that they would worry about the judgment of others in some respect. And I can put my hand up there and say that I am definitely one of those people that's affected by this. More than one time, I have been very stressed about what people think about me, whether that's the clothes I'm wearing, whether that's the work I'm putting out, whether that's the Instagram post I'm about to put out, whether that's the worry of if I'm not going to get enough likes on a picture because of the kind of post it is. I think outside judgment and outside criticism and the validation of other people's opinions is so paramount in today's society that I thought it'd be a very good topic to talk about today. So basically I just want to jump straight into it. So in my experience, this is something I've definitely dealt with. I often worry about if I post a picture, if I post a video, if I post a Snapchat, if I'm worried about my mates going to jump in and go start giving me shit saying, Bennett, what the hell are you doing? And I think largely this can have a negative effect on your self-esteem. It can have a negative effect on your mental health. And also I think it can stop you from, pursuing your dreams and aspirations. And I think one of the biggest things that I learned in the last 2 or 3 years is that once you limit people from your environment and you kind of block out the outside noise, then I think, honest to God, that it's changed the way I look at the world, honest to God. The fact that I've now blocked out outside noise and outside validation and outside opinions, it's allowed me to really kind of become more myself and really work on the things that I want to work on. And I think if I'd have learned this 6 years ago, I'd be in a completely different place than I am now. I think oftentimes in life, I'm worried about what my old college roommates were going to think. I was worried about my teammates, what they're going to think. I was worried about my coach going to think. Worried about what my family are going to think. And I think oftentimes you just need to take a step forward for yourself. You need to live life on your own terms and just do it. And to be honest with you, I've started listening to a lot more content from, people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Lewis Howes. These are the kind of people that kind of have inspired me to have the same kind of beliefs that I have now, which is don't give a crap what people are going to think. People are going to say shit no matter what. Like, you're damned if you do, if you're damned and you don't. And I think oftentimes now I'm just going to live life on my own terms. And if I get criticized or if I get judged or if I get bantered or if I get, who cares? I don't care. I'd rather get bantered for a post I'm going to do or a comment I made or a blog that I've wrote or for doing something. You're going to get bantered either way. I mean, we used to say this thing about haircuts. And if you walk into a room after a haircut, we always used to say that the biggest compliment you could get is by not getting said anything. If you walk into a room after you're getting a haircut and no one says anything, all right, I've passed the test. No one said anything. But that's one of those things is that can fucking scare people from getting a haircut because people are like, oh no, I'm worried about the shit I'm going to get from having a new haircut. It's just, and I think you're always going to get judged from doing something different, always going to get judged for not doing the same as everyone else. And largely what I've started to realize now is that I look at the people who are placing judgment or giving banter and stuff, I'm like, I wouldn't want to swap up lives with you anyway. And I think when I got out of the last environment I was in, I was taking in so many people's opinions, like, why are you leaving? you're leaving a good paying job, why are you doing this, why are you doing that, why are you doing that? And largely I just like, well, it's because I want to do it and I want to live my life and this is what I want to do. And to so many people that can be seen as strange, but I'm just like, if I always listen to outside judgment, if you always listen to someone else's opinion, then you're never going to do anything for you. And at what point do you start living life on your own terms? And I think this can lead into so many different realms, obviously. But for me, what I learned is that if you always listen to the people around you, then the likelihood is you're never going to start and you're never going to be different. People always want you to be safe. They always want you to play it safe, and they always want you to do the same as them. By taking a step out of the box and doing something slightly different, it's like that sheep mentality, isn't it? Where all sheeps are the same. So the second one, like one of them does something different, or acts differently, they're probably going to be isolated from the herd. And I think that's probably what happened with my previous job, is that when I started doing different things, or I started talking about leaving or talking about wanting to travel, things that are considered a little bit different, then obviously you're going to be seen as a little bit strange. And my mates now, I can already know I'm going to get shit for posting a podcast and posting a thing. But I think once you eliminate that from your mind and you're like, I don't give a fuck, then honest to God, you start living life so much more freely, because you're so much happier to just, live life on your own terms. And honest to God, it's liberating. And I think the biggest thing for me is I've now started to question where I'm getting my outside noise from. I've eliminated all the outside noise from people that I don't really care about their opinions. Like, I used to look at people that I used to look up to, and now I'm like, and they'd be giving me opinions on something, and now I'm a bit like, I don't want your life. I don't want to be anything like you, so why would I listen to your opinion on something? And I think you also need to only listen to people's opinions if they've been there and done it. I mean, I would now not take advice off someone who's not ahead of me or not doing something that I'd want to do. I mean, you're not going to go to a property investor and say, hey, or a realtor and say, hey, can you help me buy a house, if they've never bought a house. You're never going to go to someone and say, hey, can you help me build a podcast, or help me build a social media platform, whatever, or a business, whatever that, if they've not done it themselves. And I think a lot of the outside noise that you hear are from people that aren't where you want to be, haven't done what you want to do, and ultimately are probably so scared because they can't do it themselves that they'd never want to try. And I think for me, that's the biggest lesson I've learned over the last 2 years, is that you just got to do it, and you just got to put your best foot forward and do it. Like, what would you rather have? I'd rather wake up at 35 and go, you know what, I'm glad I gave it a go, than rather me going, oh, what if, I mean, I think the big thing that Gary Vee always pushes is the power of regret. And regret's such a terrifying thing, because nobody wants to wake up on their deathbed being like, oh, I regret not doing that, and I regret not pursuing that, and I regret, oh, maybe should have done this or this or this. I would hate that, and nobody wants to live their life that way. And that's now what I'm doing. I urge all my listeners, my future clients, the people, like, don't live life with regret. Do the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis. Pursue the goals that you have. They're a goal because they're specific to you. My goals and your goals are going to differ greatly, but that's because they're personalized. Everyone has their own thing that they want to achieve, and I don't think you should always listen to the outside noise of other people saying, oh no, you shouldn't do that. Like, one of my big people that I listen to is James Smith. Like, he's now got like 600,000-700,000 followers on Instagram. He's got a multi-million-pound business training academy. He's a Sunday Times bestseller, about to be another Sunday Times bestseller. Like, the guy to me is a massive inspiration to me. And like, he was getting advice from his mates saying, oh, mate, you shouldn't be a PT, or you shouldn't move to Australia. Like, because the likelihood is the people around him wouldn't do it themselves, or that's not one of their goals, So you need to really, really question where you're getting your outside opinions from, and why you would validate someone else's opinions. I think it's very, very easy to always take in the stigma of other people around you, and it's very, very easy to want to people please and want to be everyone's best friend. But unfortunately in life, like, you're going to have to disappoint people by paving your own way and doing your own thing. And it's not a comfortable situation, and it's not comfortable hearing criticism from people. But the way I see it now is, do I want their life? Would I trade places with them? Have they done what I want to do? If they don't answer any of those boxes, then I don't listen to them, and I take everything that they say with a pinch of salt. And that's why I'm so pushing on building the environment and building the life that you want through life design. And essentially what that means is designing your environment to complete a personal goal. And for me, The only people I now follow really on social media are those who are where I want to be. If they own a business, if they've got multiple properties, if they've got a training academy, if they're a good author, if they're very, very in shape. These are the positive aspirations and affirmations that you want in your life. You want to surround yourself and the noise around you. There's so much noise around you that you want to surround the noise around you with people who have done or are doing what you want to do. Why do you care about fucking Sally down the street who's judging you for trying to go to the gym and lose 5 pounds? No one cares. Like, you've got to do what's good for you, and you've got to get in there and be the best possible version of yourself. And especially in the 21st century with the power of social media, it is so easy to, listen to all the outside noise because there's so much outside noise. I don't think ever in a time in history there's been this much outside noise and so easily readable all the time, 24/7. And that's why it's so important to construct the noise that you listen to, because you need it to benefit you and benefit your mental health. I think you can listen to so many differing opinions and so many different judgments, and there's always going to be those people who are judging you for doing something different or taking a step in a slightly different direction to them, and they're going to judge you on it, and you're going to be judged for being different. And I think that's the beauty in it. Personally, I think everyone's trying to figure this thing out and live their best life and build the life that they want. And I think oftentimes people who judge those who are doing that are probably fairly insecure with themselves because they don't think they can do it. And I think I wish I knew this more now than I did going through college. I think the environments and the teams I was in going through college, there was so much judgment and so much negativity and so much toxicity that I wish I'd known this earlier, and I wish I'd kind of lived by this earlier, because I think I'd have achieved 10 times more than I already have. And I think this is something that is very, very hard for people to learn. It's something that I continually have to kind of reaffirm to myself. Like, I listen to Gary Vee a bunch because he's just saying, dude, the outside noise is toxic and it'll stop you from starting and pursuing the dream that you want. So that's where we are today. Yeah, I'm just putting this out there to kind of speak to those who might be worried about the judgment of others. They might be worried about all the outside noise that prevents them or stops them from putting their best foot forward. And I think it's so important just to surround yourself with positive affirmations. I think it's so important to surround yourself with the right kind of noise that supports your goals and supports what you want to do, because otherwise then what's the point? Like, you're setting yourself up for failure if you are constantly worried about the opinion of others, and then you're surrounded by toxic social media streams that aren't giving you the right messages that you need to hear. Then you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting yourself up to listen to these outside noises and these outside judgments that are so toxic and can stop you from starting. I mean, my biggest fear is waking up at 35 and going, fuck, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd traveled. I wish I'd started that business. And I think if you always listen to the outside noise, there's always going to be those people that say, whoa, play it safe. What are you doing? Play it safe. No. Stay in your good job. Stay in this little comfort zone. But the comfort zone is boring. The comfort zone isn't very fun. I mean, there's that saying that once you're outside of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. And I think for so many people who are not happy with their lives at the moment, they're so afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone and so afraid of attempting to build something for themselves because they're terrified of the opinion of others. And the opinion of others will completely stop you in your tracks and prevent you from ever doing anything you ever want to do. I just think it's so important to really take a second, write down a piece of paper if you have to. Who am I afraid of judging me? What am I afraid of them saying? Why am I afraid of them? And the why is the important bit. Like, why do you care about this outside judgment? Are they coming from a place where they've done it and you respect their opinion? Or is it because it's a friend that's been in your life 20 years and they're in your comfort zone and they're in your bubble and you don't want to upset them because you're trying to do something different and progress your life? I think you need to choose your environments, you need to choose your friends very, very carefully, and you need to build a team of people around you that want to push you forward. And that's probably what the biggest message from this is. If you are scared of the outside noise, then you need to try and eliminate that noise, but then also you need to build a team of people around you that are pushing you towards that goal. One of my really good friends, Sam here, him and I have been working on these podcasts, these platforms for probably the last year now. And he's just done an amazing podcast with Shayna Fapiano, who's a professional boxer up in Boston here. And one of her messages, she said, like, you're always gonna have that outside noise, but you just got to get your head down, build a team of people around you that want to push you to your goal. And and that's kind of it. You've got to build the team of people around you that are going to push you to success and want to see you succeed. If you've got people in your corner that don't clap when you win, then they're probably the wrong people. And if you're worried about your friends judging you, or you're worried about your friendship group judging you, then like, what? They're not really good friends then, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't have a laugh about it, I'd rather be like a 35, be like, oh, fucking hell, that was funny that I gave that a go, rather than being like, oh, I wish I gave that a go. And then everyone's safe in their own bubble, you know? So that's kind of the real big message that I wanted to push today. I really wanted to talk about how the outside judgment of others can really affect you ever starting and ever really truly living your own life and being you. You don't want to be a watered down version of yourself. You want to be you, and you want to be you and be so successful being you, and your personality being, out there for everyone to see. So guys, thank you so much again for listening to this episode of the podcast. I've got a couple more to put up, so I'm not sure where this is going to fall. It's going to be 2, 3 or 4. I'm not 100% sure, but thank you so much for joining in today. I really appreciate it. And the audio and the visuals are only ever going to get better. My actual podcasting skills are only ever going to get better. So thank you so much for joining in today. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to follow along with anything I'm currently doing, you can follow me on Instagram at DanBennett94. I'm going to be on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcasts. I'm currently building a website with my blog. I'm going to have some emails, like sign-up emails and stuff, which on there will be really cool. And then I'm going to have a client subscription service as well, where I can help work with people and help work with their mindset and their diet, their fitness, their own businesses. It's going to be really cool. So I'm slowly working on that in the background. I'm excited to release that soon. So thank you once again for joining in, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Happy Monday, guys. Cheers.
I have something to tell you.